Fathers, I welcome you from Guwahati. I welcome you to this online monthly recollection. Yesterday was the hottest day in this year with almost 38 degree with 75 or 74 percentage of humidity. And they said it is the hottest day since 70 years in Assam. On the one side, we have COVID. On the other side, we have flood. And in the middle, we are having the high temperature. We have to survive. We are surviving. And we will survive. Dear Fathers, we just finished our annual retreat, online retreat, and it was accepted well, participated well. I thank you for the participation. Now, this recollection for the month of August 2020 comes a little early for those who participated in the online retreat. But I did not want to change the date because every second Saturday in month we will celebrate as the monthly recollection day. And therefore, those who participated, it may appear to be a little bit early, but still I wish and pray that you give full participation to this online recollection. I welcome you, dear Fathers, once again to this monthly recollection. We will continue to have the monthly recollections online till, as I said last time, the dioceses are able to conduct the normal recollections in the dioceses. I also want to welcome in a special way Father Shibu, who is the preacher today. Father Shibu, the principal of SFS Narangi. Father Shibu, the counselor in charge of education, is commonly known as Father George. I think it is time to change his name because he is officially, his name is Shibu, and therefore he is Shibu. Father Shibu, I welcome you wholeheartedly to this recollection. I know that you are very busy these days because in SFS Narangi, normal classes are going on as it is. Normal classes are going on as it is every day of the year. And George is there always to take the assembly online, etc. And in spite of that, he found some time to preach the recollection. For George, I am very proud of you that you said yes to it, and I'm pretty sure that you have done justice to the theme. For George has selected a theme which is very modern, very actual, and up to date. When I thank Father George for accepting the invitation to preach the retreat, I wish all the best to you, Father George, that all what you do will be for the good of the church. All your endeavors will turn out to be for the good of the church, good of the province, good of you, and good for everyone. Dear Fathers, once again, I wish all the best, even though it is very warm outside there. I hope you sit back and enjoy the talk and have and celebrate the recollection in your own place. Have a good day. Enjoy the evening.
रोशन कर दे एक नया परिवेश है। आओ आत्मा, पावन आत्मा, मेरा जीवन रोशन कर दे एक नया परिवेश है। चंचल मन है मेरा हर पल, छा रहा है पाप का बादल। चंचल मन है मेरा हर पल, छा रहा है पाप का बादल। तू ही आकर दाग मिटा दे, नव जीवन से मुझको भर दे। तू ही आकर दाग मिटा दे, नव जीवन से मुझको भर दे। आओ आत्मा, पावन आत्मा, मेरा जीवन रोशन कर दे एक नया परिवेश है।
Luke chapter 9, verses 1 to 6. Jesus summoned the 12 and gave them power and authority over all demons and to cure diseases. And he sent them to proclaim the kingdom of God and to heal the sick. He said to them, take nothing for the journey, neither walking stick, nor sack, nor food, nor money, and let no one take a second tunic. Whatever house you enter, stay there and leave from there. And as for those who do not welcome you, when you leave that town, shake the dust from your feet in testimony against them. Then they set out and went from village to village, proclaiming the good news and curing diseases everywhere, the gospel of the Lord.
Reverend Father Provincial, respected fathers, brothers, sisters, friends, and well-wishers, peace be with you. At the very outset of this recollection, let me sincerely thank Reverend Father Provincial for having initiated this beautiful online recollection program. Dear friends, among all the stories and parables I have ever heard and read, there is one that stands and lingers again and again in my mind. That is the story of Palam Kalyana Sundaram. Palam Kalyana Sundaram, he was born in Tamil Nadu. He lost his father when he was a child, and he was raised by his mother. From his childhood, his mother taught him the importance of helping people, being good to others, being charitable, going out of our way and helping people. As he grew up, he got educated and he became a librarian. And everything that he got at the end of the month, the regular salary, he spent on charity for education of the children, for women, and for the poor segment of the society. He really loved the poor people that he slept in the railway stations to feel with them. He went to the houses of the poor so that he can really have a first-hand experience of what is going on in their lives. And when he retired, he got an amount of rupees 30 lakh. That too he gave in charity. And for him every day, after his library work, he worked part-time, doing odd jobs to maintain himself, his mother, and the family. And he never married. This is how he spent his life. Friends, Palam Kalyana Sundaram was not a well-known person, not a politician, not a Nobel laureate, not an actor or a sports person who are acclaimed and appreciated in our country. He was an ordinary person. But this ordinary person was not known in our country, but hearing the great job that this person was doing, United States of America declared him as the man of the millennium, and they gave him an award of 30 crore rupees. And as soon as he received the amount, he gave it all in charity. And this is how he continues his life. And when Rajinikanth, the famous South Indian actor, heard about it, he adopted him as his father. Palam Kalyana Sundaram, he was an educated person. He was a gold medalist in library science, completed his masters in literature and history. He is a person who has taken the decisions in the right manner after much thought and reflection. Every decision that he took was after much consideration. Friends, when we look all around us, we find there are lots of people who really work very hard. They work very hard for themselves. They have their own personal ambitions. They want to be rich, powerful, occupy positions, and there is nothing wrong in that because they really work hard and they want to feel good about themselves. But then there is another category of people like Palam Kalyana Sundaram who literally work very hard, not for themselves, but they work very hard for the needs, for the welfare of the society. When we look at Christianity as a religion, it's a religion of altruism. It's a religion that finds happiness and joy in selfless giving. Generosity, goodness, well-being, selfless giving, that is part and parcel of the essence of Christian religion. Jesus himself was exactly that, and he left that legacy of selfless giving. When we look at Saint Francis de Sales, our patron, we find that he was also a person who really worked hard not for himself, but for his people. When the bishop asked everyone, is there anyone who is willing to go to Chablais? Saint Francis de Sales, as a young priest, he got up and said, "My Lord, if you find me worthy, I am willing to go." And he went. He worked very hard, day and night. He gave all that he had. And then he won the hearts and minds of the people of Chablais and brought the faith back. As a scholar, as a lawyer, as a bishop, he was very busy doing lots of things for the people. When we look at the life of our founder, Father Mermier, we find Father Mermier also was a very hard-working person. He was not a very bright or extraordinarily intelligent boy, but it is hard work that made him what he is today. When he was in the colleges, when he was in the schools, he always made sure that through discipline and hard work, he grew up. Even when his own companions left in the initial days of the founding of our congregation, he did not give up. He literally worked very hard and ensured that our congregation came into being. He was also a person who literally worked very hard, not for himself, but for others. Let us look at the missionaries in Northeast India. More than a century back, the Salvadorian missionaries came to Northeast, and think of those days. They came for others. Look at the missionaries who came to Northeast India of various congregations. They gave all what they had. And even today, when we visit villages, we hear sometimes people speak about those beautiful moments wherein the missionaries came and they really did great service for the people. And they did it all not for themselves, but for the people. Even our own pioneers, as young priests, 45 years back, they boarded the train from Visakhapatnam to Guwahati. And think of the pain, the struggle that they have undergone. And thank God, today we have 2 provinces and we are grateful to them. Friends, let us look at Jesus. Jesus himself was a very hard-working person. We know that he lived only 33 years. And during the 33 years of his life, he walked or he did the public ministry only for just 3 years. And in 3 years' time, he conquered the world by his own self-giving. He is remembered, he is adored, and he is worshipped because Jesus lives, and the ministry that he lived for 3 years, it is something which is unforgettable. And his contribution, what Jesus is, it will never be erased. Palam Kalyana Sundaram. It took him 73 years of selfless giving to get a recognition. And we do not know how long, how many decades it will last. But Jesus, he came, he lived, and he did everything for the people. And he will never be forgotten. Jesus gave all that he had. His time, his energy, his life. And he held nothing for himself. At the end of his life, while hanging on the cross, Jesus said, Father, in your hands, I commend my spirit. And then he died. And when he died, he opened his arms, showing to the world that all what I have, I am offering. I have nothing with me to carry again. And he gave completely and totally for the welfare of the humanity, for the well-being, for the forgiveness of the world. Friends, Jesus chose to die rather than he was crucified. Jesus could have chosen any other way of saving the world, but he realized dying for others, living for others, selfless giving, that is the best way, and he wanted to feel the pain of himself giving to the society. Friends, in our religious life, it is important that we surrender and we give ourselves totally. At the evening of our life, when we leave this world, it is important that we go back to our Father as people with gratitude and love. And if we don't give it by ourselves, it is sure and certain that whatever we have, it will be snatched away and it will be given to others. We all have taken the vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience. And these vows enkindle in us the spirit of selfless giving. When we have taken the vow of chastity, it really teaches us that we do not have a family of our own, so that everything in the universe, every being, every person, they become our brothers and sisters. When we took the vow of obedience, we have surrendered our will to God, so that we are able to accept God's will in our life. And when we have taken the vow of poverty, we have declared to the world that we have nothing of our own, and everything that we have, it belongs to God, and that selfless giving is explained in this manner. Now comes the most important question. What is it that I should give? What is it that I can give? And we all know, we can never ever give something what we do not have. We can only give what we have in our lives. Giving material aid to the people, definitely, it's a must, and it is something which we should cherish in our lives. According to Maslow's theory of hierarchy of needs, the physiological needs of the people, food, shelter, and clothing, they are the most important, and the beginning, the first needs of the human person, they are to be looked after. They are to be ensured. And this is a primary responsibility and duty of every person in the world. And we feel proud that Face India, under the leadership of Father Saji, has done a yeoman service to the people of our region by materially providing them lots of things according to their need. Secondly, the best way of our self-giving can be giving to our own responsibilities that is entrusted to us. We need to give 100% of whatever duties and responsibilities that is given to us. It is important that we make our parishes, our schools, our ministry, our preaching, our social work, our studies, everything, we need to make it as the best possible. We need to ask this question. In our ministry, are we running at the optimum level? And optimum level means the best possible way it is being used and our institutions run in the best way, collecting all the resources that are available. Every contact, every possible resource is being used so that our institutions, our ministry really becomes relevant. And dear friends, all of us, we get a transfer. And when we get a transfer, it is important that we ask a certain vital and important question. As I move from this place to another, have I completed my job that is entrusted to me? Have I really lived my life in the place that I was? Or was I just physically being there, maintaining myself and maintaining the mission? Are our transfers a fulfilling experience for me, or is it just a routine thing that happens? Is it a fulfilling experience for me personally, as well as a fulfilling experience for the people for whom I have really lived? Does transfer happen because one has been in a place for a long time? Or is it because one has happily, successfully accomplished whatever is entrusted to us by our congregation and by our superiors? Are the people at the heart of our ministry? Or is it our own needs at the heart of our ministry? These are very important and vital questions as religious we need to ask ourselves. In one of the private conversations while participating in a training, I heard that late Arun Jaitley of Happy Memories, he told Cardinal Archbishop of Mumbai that, Archbishop, your institutions, the Christian institutions, do not have the old quality that it used to have. It only has the old name that it is. Friends, this is a whisper. This is something that all of us hear at different places and at different times. Many people make this remark that our institutions, our people, our personnel, we do not have that old quality, that old commitment, and often we thrive, linger on the success of the olden days. And then thirdly, we need to give ourselves in the sense that need to give ourselves to empower ourselves. And this is very, very important for our future. We need to give our time and energy for our own personal growth and development. We need to take care of our mind, spirit, and intellect. Reading good books, participating in seminar, going for trainings, reading magazines and books, updating ourselves. It is a bounden duty of each and every one of us. And if we do not update ourselves, if we do not become relevant to this time according to our needs and capabilities, it will be almost as good as snatching away the right of the people whom we are serving. In the Japanese society, there is a beautiful word called kaizen. As all of us know, Japan was a devastated country after the Second World War. But in 3 decades, they rose like a phoenix. They rose from the ashes. And behind this success, there is this idea called kaizen. What is kaizen? Kaizen is continuous improvement, making ourselves better each and every day. In their family conversations, in their public places, in their workplaces, they always discussed how to make things slightly better than what it was yesterday. And this is something that has changed the way Japanese society works. They ensure that whatever they do tomorrow, it is slightly better than what it is today and what was yesterday. Friends, it is important that we also try to imbibe the spirit of continuous improvement. Can I improve the quality of my homily a little bit than what it is yesterday? Can I improve the quality of the life of a person little better than what it was yesterday? Can I spend a little more time in my personal development and personal growth? Can I read one more book extra? Can I spend little more time in our prayer? And these are all vital questions we need to ask ourselves. We are all persons who have taken the public oath, the solemn vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience. We have declared to the world that we are here to serve. Selfless giving is part of us. But then, sad to see that we fail and we fail miserably. But then, there are people who have not taken any vows, no public utterances like Kalyana Sundaram. But then, they do much marvelous, great job, and they become real living examples for all of us. Dear friends, it is time that we reinvent ourselves. And to reinvent ourselves, first and foremost, we need to love the church and the congregation with the best of our abilities. We need to love the congregation and the church with the best of our abilities. I remember when I made my first profession in the congregation, Father Jose Tanganakunnal of Happy Memories, he was the provincial, and he gave a very beautiful homily. And in that homily, he said one thing. Please remember that all of you who have taken the vows today, your strength will be the strength of your congregation, and your weakness will be the weakness of your congregation. And it is absolutely right. Whatever we have, our strength, that is the strength of our congregation. And whatever weakness that we attribute, that will be the weakness of our congregation as well. Once someone said that in the Catholic Church, as a mighty organization, there are 3 layers of people. The top layer, in the upper layer, they have the Pope, bishops and the cardinals. In the middle layer, there is the priests and the religious. And in the lowest layer, there is the lay people. People on the upper layer, they have never seen people at the lowest layer. People at the lowest layer, they have not seen people in the upper layer. But whatever is decided in the upper layer, it definitely reaches at the lowest level. And the concerns of the people at the lowest level, it is being raised at the highest level. And it happens because of priests and religious, dedicated people like us. We are the visible face of the church. We are in the middle layer. We are the representatives of the lay people, taking their concern, taking their faith to the Pope and to the official church. And in the same manner, we become the middle persons. We become the representatives of the official church, taking their views, taking their opinions and ideas, taking their teachings to the lay people. And if we fail, it is definite that the church will fail. Therefore, it is important that we reinvent ourselves, understand our identity, need to give up our individualistic thinking and think like the church, think like the congregation, think as one, so that we really become relevant in our times. According to Gallup's workplace study, they have said that in every organization, 30% of the people are very committed. They are the people who are with a positive mind. and they really create an environment of positivity all around them. But then 50% of the people, they are the group of people who do the minimum. They do what is entrusted to them. They do what they are asked to do. And vast majority of the people in any organization, they are such. And then there is another 20% of the people. They are the negative people. These are the group of people who create negativity all around the organization. And the study says that in United States alone, $500 billion is lost to the economy because of the negativity of these kinds of people. Friends, it is time for us to ask this vital question. Where do we stand? Do we belong to the 30% category? Do we belong to the 20% category? Or we belong to the 50% category? Are we faithful to the church? Are we faithful to the congregation? Are we loyal to ourselves? Or are we counter witnesses at times? We need to remember that whatever we have, it belongs to our congregation. As young persons, we joined our congregation, and after that, even the physical structure that we have, our intellectual acumen, and everything that we possess, our personality, and all the good things that we have, it all belongs to our congregation and to the Catholic Church. And it is important that we have that sense of gratitude and love towards our congregation. And secondly, to reinvent ourselves, we need to do a turnaround of our life, a turnaround of the complete nature and substance of our lives. Jesus was a turnaround specialist. Wherever he went, whichever category of people that he moved, he turned around the lives of such people. To the girl who was dying, he turned around her life, brought her back to life, and he made her parents happy and joyful. He turned around the lives of his own disciples. The disciples of Jesus, they were fishermen. They were tax collectors. They were not recognized people in the society. But he turned around the lives of those people just in 3 years. Zacchaeus, he turned around his life. Zacchaeus, he knew what he was and who he was. He knew that he was a sinner, a tax collector, hated by the society. But Zacchaeus, he wanted to meet Jesus. And because of that, he climbed the tree. And when Jesus came, Jesus told him, Zacchaeus, come down. Today, I would like to stay in your house. And finally, Jesus told him, today, salvation has come to this house. He literally turned around the life of Zacchaeus. Jesus turned around the lives of many people, the deaf, the dumb, the blind. He turned around the lives of many people who were afflicted with evil spirit. The woman who was caught in adultery, he turned around her life. And finally, this person truly became a follower of Jesus. Today, health workers all around the world, they are appreciated, the doctors and the nurses, for being the turnarounders of lots of people who are affected due to coronavirus. Missionaries like us, hundreds of them, are appreciated all around the world for turning around the lives of many people. Lots of teachers in our country and in the world are appreciated and recognized for turning around the lives of many young people. Dear friends, it is time that we look within ourselves. It is important that we turn around the lives of the people who are around us. And it has to start with by turning around our own very life. Maybe the mission that is at our disposal, the school that we are running, the ministry that we have, the people with whom we are working, they may not be the perfect one. They may not be the most capable and the talented ones. But then we need to have the enthusiasm, the courage, the strength, and above all, the passion to turn around the lives of these people and finally turn around the nature of our ministry and our mission. As church leaders, it is important that we go to the people. Jesus always went where people were. Jesus never started a house in the middle of the village and told the people, "Come to me, that I will be available at such and such a time. You can have an appointment." Jesus went to the place where people were. He went to the marketplace, to the boats of the fishermen, to synagogue, to seashore, to mountains, to valleys, to hills, to the rich and the poor, to the young and old, to the homes of the dying and the homes of the sick, to the sinner and the saint. For Jesus, there was no distinction. He never differentiated anyone. Jesus believed in the all-encompassing, non-excluding, universal love. And this is what Jesus lived in his life. Thank God, today in the church, we have a pastor in the person of Pope Francis. Time magazine selected him as the man of the year. He is appreciated all over the world. He has really become a darling of the media. His simplicity, enthusiasm, vision, and gentle firmness is really a great asset to the church today. And it is our bounden duty as followers of Jesus, as members of the Catholic Church, that we tread the path that he has shown to us and we truly become people's priests and people's religious. Friends, we have been inside, locked up and held up for the last 4 to 5 months. We have not been able to give sacraments to our people. We have not been, to a great extent, because of the external factors, not been able to look after the spiritual needs of the people. And as slowly things become better and better, as things are being opened up, it becomes our duty that we prepare our people list from today. The people whom we have to visit, the people, those who are really in need of us. It may be our teachers, our gardeners, our drivers, people those who really need us, the sick people, the catechists, our own lay faithful. Every one of them, they need us and we need to be open towards it. Friends, at the end, I would like to ask this question. Do we really want to be happy and live long? This is a very vital question. Do we want to live long and do we really want to live happy? And I'm sure the answer is yes. All of us want to be happy and live long. And if we want to be happy and live long, there is one and only one medicine, and that is selfless, joyful giving. Selfless, joyful giving, it can extend the span of our life, and it can really make us happy and joyful people. Oxytocin is a powerful hormone that is produced in our body and is required for various bodily functions. And studies prove that when we give something to the people selflessly, the production of oxytocin increases in our body. Even for our physical well-being and brain functioning, joyful and selfless giving is vital and important. Studies prove that the glow on our face increases when we give something to the people. Giving makes us stronger, powerful, and richer. Giving makes us overcome all kinds of sicknesses, and even deadly sicknesses we can overcome. Giving helps people to be happy. The essential nature of a human person is to give and not to receive. Giving makes our life happier and more joyful. Giving helps us to live longer. Giving, it increases our self-worth and it helps us to overcome depression, and it increases our self-esteem. The more you help others, the more you feel like helping other people. In the beginning, when we start helping people, it may be for our own ego needs, for our selfish needs, that we would like to get a bit of appreciation and recognition. But after that, it becomes a selfless act. And it helps us to stay motivated in our lives. As priests and religious, as people who have taken the vows of poverty, chastity and obedience, let us learn to be people who give and people who surrender. And let me conclude this talk by quoting a very famous quote. Let me not neglect any kindness, for I shall not pass this way once again. Let me not neglect any kindness, for I shall not pass this way once again. This has been a quote that has really inspired the lives of many people. That we come this way only once, and let us not give up any chance, any opportunity that we get to show act of kindness. Missionaries as we are, Franciscans as we are, members of the Catholic Church as we are, when we together commit ourselves in helping people, joyfully giving ourselves to the church, to the congregation, for our own personal growth and development, we are showing acts of kindness which will help us in our life and for the growth and development of the church. God bless every one of us. Thank you.